So please state your name, occupation, and the position you are seeking.
Hector Garcia. I'm running for School Board of LISD District 6, and I'm the Assistant General Manager at La Posada Hotel.
Have you received any formal education?
I attended high school, college, but I finished about the second year. I left school for other things that I had to work on, but I'm fortunate that through hard work that I've got the position that I am. I've worked for the schools for 28 years, and now the Assistant General Manager of a hotel. So I've worked hard, but I didn't finish college.
How long have you lived in the district?
I've lived in my district all my life. In district, I attended the schools of Milton, Lamar, and Nixon High School.
What do you think is the primary need for District 6, and how do you plan to address it?
Well, I think the main priority is the finances. You know, it being that we're looking at an $18 billion shortfall at the state, that we got to go knock on doors in Austin and Washington, which I've done in the past for the last 8 years, and make sure that the cuts that they make do not affect our students, because we need all the resources that we can to ensure that our students get to the next level, to make sure our teachers have the equipment and the knowledge that they need to make sure our students come forward.
And this, you kind of already answered it, but what do you see as the primary need for the district as a whole? And
as a whole, that would be one of my priorities.
Yeah.
The second priority is the safety of the schools. I think that's a big issue, that the teachers and the students have to feel safe at their school, and the parents have to feel safe that their kids are going to school. I think that's a big priority in the district. But I think if you ask me what the second to finances is, also that making sure that we align our education get ready for the next phase of tests. At the end of next year, we go to the end of the year exams, and we got to make sure our curriculum at the middle schools, at the high schools are ready to take on that task, to make sure our schools become exemplary campus like they should be.
Your opponents may try to point out weaknesses in your campaign over the next month. What do you believe they'll say is your biggest weakness, and how will you respond?
You know what? I don't think I have a weakness. I think I work hard. I'm a hard worker. If you ask people in my district, I do that. I think I didn't finish college, and you know what? I look at that, and hopefully as soon as I leave city council, that I look at taking a class at TAMU. But you know what? I've been fortunate with many great people that don't do that, are multimillionaires and all this, and I think through my hard work, I have proven myself, and that's why I'm at the position that I am. But I wouldn't encourage any kids in high school to actually look at that. I mean, if you don't want to go to school, you know, get on a vocational program so that you're a asset to your community and not something else. So I think that'll be the one thing. But anything else, then you know what, my opponent, I think, is a good man. He's a neighbor, and I think electing him or myself, you know, it's going to be a positive for LISD.
Why should voters choose you over the other candidates?
Well, because I'm hands-on. I'm gonna work hard for our district. 8 years ago, I sat here in the Radio Morning Time, and I asked them, and I told them my agenda. And 8 years later, I'm back telling you, I exceeded everything I promised. I've been there for my district as a city council member. I've done so many projects, and I'm leaving it with a $15 million rec center, which I promised that I was going to deliver. And I think that people in my district respect that. They know that I'm a phone call away. I've always been a phone call away. I have had no controversy in the 8 years I've been as a council member. I've worked with my other council members. I've worked with the schools. I've worked with everybody in our community to make Laredo a better place. In the last 8 years, I've worked with the schools during Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving. I've given over 3,500 bicycles to the kids in my district to make sure that the kids that don't have a Christmas have one. To the families that don't have Thanksgiving, you know, I make sure that they had turkeys on their table. I make sure that they had food to eat. I'm very passionate about programs, very passionate about my district, very passionate about kids. I've started the Sister City Youth Program, which allows a lot of our students to go and change and find out cultures that are happening around the world and bring it back to the schools and let them know what's going on there. And it's a very popular program. We started with 14 students, which is up to 35 or 40. So you know what, I've done that for our district. And at the end of the day, come November 2nd, whoever you elect as a city LISD board member is going to represent us all together, and we'll work together regardless. If I win, I will always work with Mr. Zapata, because I do work with him on a board, and I plan to. He work with me, I work with him, but we're just different people. I think I'm going to be out there making sure that things are followed through. And I think that he's been out there working on different campaigns and hasn't been successful. But he's I think he's a good man. I think either or is going to be good for our district.